Well, let me go across to our panelists. Lalit Ambadar is joining us, an activist. Also, Sarfraz Wani, a lawyer. Sarfraz ji, I'm going to come to you first. We are looking at the visuals of how Miss World had visited Srinagar. Then you, of course, have the Miss World pageant, which is announced will be held in Jammu and Kashmir as well. We have had the G20 summit there, parts of these meetings. Now you have cinema, theatre, which has opened up. Of course, there are night markets also which are opening up. Sarfraz Wani, will you say these are steps which are being taken towards normalcy?
See, a person talks about the ends only when he knows that the means which he has used are not justifiable. This is a classical case with the government side in the Supreme Court right now. So a petitioner side in the court has raised serious issues. Serious questions have been raised. So what is there for the government side is there is normalcy, everything is okay. Without this, they have no argument. So I don't understand what does Miss World has to do with this. See, what stopped the Miss World or Miss Universe to come to Kashmir before? Was Article 370 anywhere an impediment to that?
There, as you know, it was not conducive. Why were cinema theatres closed? Why was it that there were no night markets there, Sarfraz Wani, in the past?
A security problem has nothing to do with Article 370. This is what has been our case in the Honorable Supreme Court also. This is a pure constitutional case right now in the Supreme Court, whether what was done on August 4th was constitutionally right or constitutionally wrong. So what they are trying to portray is, look, everything is normal, that's why what we did that day
But Sarfraz Wani, isn't it true that the number of terrorists who are actively working in Jammu and Kashmir has also gone down? You have all stats which are there as well. So are those not indicatives?
That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A law and order problem cannot be equated with a provision of constitution.
Okay, Lalit Ambadar, Sarfraz Alam says that there is no such correlation that you can make. One is law and order. What about constitutional provisions, which are important questions which are being asked? Forget about Miss World, forget about what is happening in the G20 summit. When will the polls happen? When will elections happen? When will the democratic processes start off? That is the issue, they say.
First of all, since reference has been made to the ongoing discussions or debate or case in the Supreme Court of India, let me remind your viewers what happened yesterday. It was Honorable Supreme Court. They made an observation when it was mentioned that 35 capital A was accorded to Jammu and Kashmir through just a presidential order, and because of that, the citizens of India were deprived of their rights as citizens of India because they happen to have lived in Kashmir, and the refugees from, especially from East Punjab, who were taken refuge in 1947 after the bloody partition in Jammu and Kashmir, they never became a citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. Number two, about the Valmiki Samaj. Can you imagine a Valmiki woman or a boy, even if she or he acquired a degree, PhD degree, the J&K government under Article 35 capital A was only given a job of a sweeper, and the occupation mentioned in their certificate. If I utter that word on your channel, you could be charged, and along with me under SC/ST Act. This was what Article 370 or 35A were around. So don't mislead the government. No, don't mislead the nation that government is only telling that things are all right. If the constitutional bench is seeking opinions and hearing everybody, and I'm very glad the solicitor.
That is just a comment made by Honorable CJ.
They have rebutted,
not make it
every argument that has. They have rebutted every argument that was taken up in favor of restoration of Article 370. Number two, it's an ongoing process. I can tell you one thing. This Supreme Court belongs to India, the people of India. No court in the world can deny the right for complete constitutional geopolitical integration of one part of India with the rest of India.
Absolutely. In fact, Sarfraz Wani, one of the things that the Chief Justice had also said is that 35A, something that was backed vociferously, was discriminatory in nature. Something even the Chief Justice of India has said that, Sarfraz Wani.
Exactly. It was misogynistic. It was depriving the Valmiki Samaj of their rights. It was depriving the refugees from Punjab, Hindus and Sikhs' rights. And
answer that, Sarfraz Wani. How can that society, where its own citizens were deprived of basic rights, be equal?
So this is how federalism works. Understand my point. There is Article 371. Is that anyway unconstitutional? Are you trying to tell me that if somebody cannot acquire land in Northeast, then he is being barred of his constitutional right? No, because this is a question of federalism. This is what we federal states work. This is how the mechanism between cooperative federalism is all about, that you delegate certain powers to the states, or in certain cases where you feel that there is a need for extra powers to be given to the state and less central interference.
Lalit Ambardar, would you like to respond to that? There were similar provisions. Having said that, Article 370, even by those who had put it in the constitution, had meant it to be temporary rather than something which remains forever, limitlessly. But Lalit Ambardar?
Meghna, let me tell you one thing. In New Delhi, Nehru and Congress, they opposed Jinnah's two-nation theory of supremacy and exclusivity of Islam, on the basis of which Pakistan was created from Muslims by Muslims of India. At the same time, Article 370 was accorded to Jammu and Kashmir only because it was a Muslim state, and you allowed a quasi-Islamic state, mini Pakistan, flesh in Kashmir. Okay. Can you imagine? Aborigine Kashmir, they are not in Kashmir at all. They saw genocidal exodus right under India's secular watch. And you're talking of constitutionality of this 370. This was a fraud committed on the people
one thing
of
that we know, we are
fraud
waiting for the Supreme Court to decide on that matter. We can't preempt what the courts are going to say. But on your screens, you can see how there is trade and tourism, which certainly has improved since what it was the last 3-4 years. Is that not an indication on life on ground changing? Those are questions we have to look at. Thank you so much, however, for joining us here on the show, Lalit Ambardar as well as Sarfraz Wani. With that, we slip into a break.